We often recognize our leaders by their titles, the decisions they make, and their public personas.
Yet, beyond the responsibilities lies a person, a dreamer, a parent, a musician, an individual shaped by experiences and values. Welcome to ABC Digest. Today, we have someone who truly needs no introduction, our Honorable Chief Minister of Meghalaya, Shri Conrad Sangma. This conversation offers a rare glimpse into the life beyond the office.
So from his early days to his passion for music, from family moments to reflection and leadership and legacy, let us take this time to rewind, reflect, and get to know Conrad Sangma. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I know you have a very busy schedule, but you're taking your time to be with us. Thank you so much, sir.
No, ABC is doing a great job, and I must really congratulate you and your team for doing a fabulous job, and also for giving me an opportunity to be part of your program.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, let us start with a very simple question. Now, if we were to turn back time, we want to know who was Conrad Sangma in his younger days, and how were you as a brother and as a friend and as a son?
It's quite a broad question, but I was just like a normal kid, like all the kids during our time. And we, of course, grew up in Delhi, and summers were very hot, winters were very cold. We used to be playing in the sun like everybody else. So my brother and I were very, very close, of course. And since he was the second sibling and I was third, so our age also matched. So we used to spend a lot of time playing together, and we used to play a lot with, I remember the locality kids. So normally my mother and father would be busy with the, day-to-day work and the chores. So normally it would be my sisters, my brother, and myself with the locality kids, playing the whole day. So that's how it was. As a kid also, I don't remember much in terms of how I used to be. But my mother tells me that I was maybe the naughtiest among the four kids.
I was about to ask that question.
So she keeps narrating those stories where I was a very difficult kid and was very naughty compared to the others. But at the same time, of course, I had a lot of great love and care for my siblings. We used to always really be there for each other, like we are now also, and support each other. And as I said, as a kid, of course, I was very slightly a bit on the naughty side.
But you turned out very well, sir.
No, it's not like that. I don't think it's fair to say that I've turned out well, but I guess circumstances have shaped us. Things were not the same, to be very frank, in politics in the beginning. I grew up with a different thought process in politics. And then what I came out to be was slightly different from what I was in the beginning. And that, I guess, because of the different tests and fire and processes I went through and challenges I went through. So that helped me a lot, I presume.
You mentioned that your mother always tell you like stories like you were naughty and all. So is there any lessons that you still carry that your parents have instilled in you that you still use till now?
I can tell you for sure that maybe the biggest quality which our parents, I think, brought into us was the aspect of humility and the aspect of discipline. They were very particular about that. Our parents never allowed us to feel or think in any way at any time that, we were children of, a political, a member of parliament or a cabinet minister. So they always kept us grounded. They were very particular about that. So the humility factor was something that they instilled in us, and we try to continue to be in that line. I'm not saying that we're always like that, because obviously different situations come in. But to a large extent, I feel that instilling of that was there. And a second was, question of discipline. My mother especially was very, very particular about discipline, whether it's, eating food or praying together, or sleeping on time. Of course, I didn't listen to any of that, but that's a different story. But she kept repeating it again and again and again till I ultimately had to listen to it. So yeah, those are the things I remember the most.
So talking about you growing up, so what were your school days or your college days like? Can you highlight a few?
Again, school was just like a normal school, but I will give a small special mention here. So we were in St. Columbus School, which is run by the Christian Brothers from the early days. Then we came to St. Edmunds to Shillong when my late father became chief minister here and then opposition leader. So we were here for 3 years. And, I can very confidently tell you that those 3 years actually were a very important and defining moment
Agree.
for me personally. Things like my interest in music, my interest in sports, and this entire mindset of, the Northeast and the important aspect about tribal identity. These things were actually instilled to me when I was in Shillong those 3 years, and it somehow just hung on to me. And when we went back to Delhi, I remember we still stuck on to our Shillong identity.
Your roots.
And the reason it happened so was because it differentiated us.
Yes.
So as kids, how you were in school, you want to be like kind of standing out and different. So the music we played, I was sharing just a few days back with some other friends that I remember that we used to. I was a goalkeeper here, and Edmonds had this overcrowded kind of football teams. So I was the goalkeeper of one of the sections of the B team. Right, so they had the A team, which was the team to be in, and then you had the guys who were not that good, who were in the B team. So we were in the B team, right? So I was a goalkeeper of that B team. That's also the extra goalkeeper. I wasn't even the main goalkeeper. And suddenly I went to Delhi, and Delhi is like a cricket place, so they don't have much of football. So and from nowhere, from being a standby B team goalkeeper in Shillong, I became the captain of the football team in Delhi. So that's how bad the football scene was out there. I mean, not trying to make fun, but they were good in cricket. But what I'm saying is that's what I remember from school days. And as I said, Shillong and St. Edmunds and my friends had a big influence on me and my mindset, which carries on till today. And of course, when I was in college, I was in different locations. So I got, by God's grace, I got an opportunity to study in different universities, colleges. It was a great exposure. I really got exposure to, I must say, global aspects. And another very important aspect which I learned in these places was the concept of competition. You have to compete at the top with all the best guys in the world. And I think very important for me also when I studied in college was the whole aspect of really hard work.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I'm a very hardworking person, but whatever little bit I'm able to show in my work today is the training I can say in college days where really had to work very, very hard, and it was not easy. So that's what I remember about college days in terms of the values. But again, it was just normal, like what other kids have gone through, and I guess I remember those moments.
So talking about your exposure and your studying abroad, since you pursued your higher studies abroad, what message would you have for the youth who want to pursue or who aspire to go and study abroad?
Well, I would like to say, number one is that if given an opportunity and if the chance is there and, finances are there, it is definitely an area which one should explore. All I can say is that it's not always important the university you go into, because you could be in a top university, you could be in a medium university. That is not really the crux of the matter. I think the way the education system is in different parts of the world, the way you are exposed to different challenges that the world faces, the way you're exposed to different students from different parts of the world, I think those are really the important aspects and the experiences that you get when you study abroad, the fact that you have to be independent, the fact that you're living in a different world, different country, where there are different challenges for students coming from different parts of the world, then you start to broaden your mindset. So I think all of these things are very important aspects of being able to study in different locations and abroad. But having said that, in terms of the institutes and the college and the standards of education that is there today available in this country, I'll tell you it's second to none. So I think one should not really think that if they're not getting an opportunity to go abroad, that they're missing out on something very big. It's not. Ultimately, it's a question of experience, a question of as an independence, of going to different location, adapting to it. Those can happen even if you go to Delhi. This can happen to you go to Bangalore, you go to Mumbai. So it can happen anywhere you go abroad, anywhere you go in the country. And last, of course, even in local institutes, at the end of the day, it depends on how you take advantage of the situations that you have, how you commit yourself to what you're doing. And I think that is ultimately the final goal. But yes, if the opportunity comes up and if you get a chance, it is a great experience to see. But again, something my father told me when I got admission in UPenn was that you go, but you have to come back. He told me, you better come back, and you should serve your state, you should serve your people in whatever capacity, and you should give back to society. This is what he told me. I remember very distinctly. And I would like to tell the children the same thing, that whoever gets a chance to go abroad, learn, experience, but try to come back and give back to society, to give back to the people who made you what you are and gave the opportunity to you to be able to study abroad.
Yes. Your father was a very wise man, and look at you now. What's one thing about you that people would never guess that you possess, even after years of seeing you in public life?
Ooh. That's a. In terms of, you mean to say a skill, or in terms of?
It could be anything.
It could be anything
under the sun.
I mean, there's not much, but I guess people know about music, but I mean, they don't know about the different kind of music that I like.
Exactly.
People won't know that I actually listen to a lot of ghazal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So you think that
interesting to know.
Iron Maiden and Metallica is my, favorite? Of course they are.
Huh.
But the genre of music that I listen to even goes down to, ghazals. So I love Jagjit Singh. I love, Kishore Kumar songs, and those are songs that sometimes I listen just alone in my room.
Okay.
Nobody knows about that, but because it's such a soothing
Yes.
music, and ghazal has got a lot of in-depth, the meaning in the songs. Even the songs are, with Kishore Kumar, if you listen to some of the lyrics, they're very, very deep
Yes.
in terms of the meaning. So that's one part. Maybe people don't know that I listen to a lot of ghazal.
That's interesting.
So, speaking of music, yes, you did surprise a lot of people, like not just in Meghalaya, maybe throughout the country when they saw you, playing Iron Maiden. So, how did music life start for you?
So it started right here in Shillong with I think almost everyone. It was Scorpions. So it was Always Somewhere, the first guitars. I mean, the song that we learned, and if you couldn't play that, then you were like useless in our circle. So there was to be one guitar, and everybody's fighting for it. And it started with that. It started with those cassettes that used to be sold in Police Bazaar. We used to rush and try to figure out what's coming up next week. And we used to have just 5 cassettes or 6 cassettes. That's it. And that used to be our treasure, and everything. We used to keep rewinding and listening to it again and again. So it started with that. And of course, when we started the music scene in Delhi, that is when it actually formalized in one way, because there was nobody else, to be very frank. So there was a school band. They're looking for people to compete in the inter-school competition. So we're like, okay, I know how to play 1 or 2 songs. So then we started practicing. We started getting, and used to have this group of fans, about 30, 40 guys who just, for whatever reason, just love the noise we used to make. And that's how it started. So we used to be in school, after school, we all came, we stayed back. We practiced for, hours and hours. And that's how it was. And I think all of you remember the tough part and maybe the most exciting part also of music then was that there was no system of actually learning. You see, today in YouTube,
Yeah.
you can learn almost any solo if you have the time to spend time on it. But during our time, there were no tabs, there was no YouTube. It's just, ear listening and, getting the note. And we didn't know scales, we didn't know any kind of music theory, nothing. So, very raw kind of setup, but that's how we grew up. And as I said, it was difficult, but maybe that was what made it more interesting because we really had to struggle to even get one song correct. And I tell you, it was very bad. We were really bad. When I look back at things and I look at the kind of talent we have in today's world and they play, it's a huge difference. But I guess for that moment in that time, I guess we were okay.
But
So that's how it started.
taking some circumstances and all, you were quite okay, I think, so in the music scene because we didn't have what the artists now have.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So it is challenging. It was very challenging then. So yeah, as I said, just to get one solo. Like for example, we used to try and I remember playing a Sweet Child of Mine. So this was 1990 something, I can't remember, but there was an inter-school competition, and it was called Celesta, if I'm not wrong. It was between the schools in Delhi, and so I was asked to work out the solo of Sweet Child of Mine, and you're listening to all that, the notes and trying to figure out. It was really difficult, but somehow I managed to do about some part of it. So yeah, you're right. It was a big challenge, but I guess that was the interesting part.
Talk about music, sir. Do you have a personal playlist? If we take a sneak peek into your Spotify playlist, what would we find?
Oh, again, a complete mix and a rainbow of songs, and sometimes I think I keep playing it in my car, so I'm sure my security guys and drivers are like, what is this guy up to? It's like starts off like Master of Puppets, and then suddenly goes into Jagjit Singh, and then suddenly you have like Scorpions, and then again it goes back into oldies. So it's got a mix of everything, and I guess that's how music for me is, because it's number one, obviously on the mood. Number two, I guess every kind of music kind of connects you to a different part of you, maybe, or a different moment, and I think that's what the beauty of music is that it helps you to connect, and the different types of music and the genre that is there. I guess for me that's what makes sense. So I will not never say that I'm a complete metal guy or something like that. That heavy metal is definitely part of my playlist, but it will go all the way to, as I said, to ghazals and to Jagjit Singh, and then go down to again even instrumental, even classical music. So all of that comes into my list.
So, sir, giving the opportunity, if you could form a band like now, who would you pick from anyone in the state? It might be your colleagues, any political leader, government official, youth icons, anyone from the state. If you could form a band now, who would you pick?
My God, that's a really tough question, because they're so good. All of them are so good. Rather, I should say who would pick me. I think that would be the. So I would be like the last pick. So I don't think I'll be able to come up to their level in any way. But there's so many artists. I really would be unfair for me to take names and say that I would want to play with these. I play a lot with with Colors. I play a lot with even. I mean, I sing along with Six Fret. They're also good band that they keep coming and playing it up. I think, and there are other individuals. So we have a lot of them. I don't want to say that would be the band, but again, I have got a lot of colleagues who play very well. So, and we always take out time where we get away from work and actually end up jamming. So we just have the acoustic guitar and we sing some songs. So we used to have those sessions in DP Walang's house a lot. So I remember that very fondly. So yeah, so those are the kind of people who are with, but I'm sorry, I will not be able to give you one answer to that. So it's just I want to touch.
There's too many.
There are too many, and then they'll be very upset when they hear that I didn't take their name.
Okay, so now talking about you as a father figure, as a husband, both you and your wife have busy schedule. How do you support each other in balancing personal life and work life?
Actually, uh, she handles most of the things, to be very frank. I'm very lucky, to be very frank, to have somebody like Chandi, in my life. So she is actually a pillar, in one way for my family also, and even for the politics. A lot of people don't know, but she does a lot of the background work even in my constituency. So while it is my constituency, and of course I do the normal work, but the day-to-day affairs of handling people, workers, and all, because I have to handle the whole state. So sometimes the kind of attention that is required for a constituency is not possible, which is something that I try my best to make up, but it doesn't happen quite sometimes. So she handles all of that, and she handles her own constituency, and she handles the children, and she handles and she handles the difficult part for the children, because we all as parents, that there's the easy part and difficult part. So my part is more of listening, so I'm the cold factor, so I cool down things. I'm more of the listener, and I go, my daughter will come and say, "Mom, I said this," and she'll complain, and I say, so I'll cool her down, it's like this, like this. So it's that's the kind of thing. And of course, what is important for me, and I've said this very openly in the past also, is that I personally feel that it is very difficult and challenging, especially because they don't stay in Shillong, they stay in Delhi, because that's how the schooling was. In 2018, my daughter was already in school. So we thought that, we shouldn't shift her from school there. And we thought that let her continue. So that followed, and my second daughter also is studying in school there. But I think what I keep telling myself, and I don't know if it's fair or not, but at least I justify it by saying that to myself, is that I try to be there in those important moments that are important for them. So this last time also, there was an annual day event of my second daughter, and she was dancing in that program. So she was very particular that I have to be there, and then I had to go specially there just to be part of that program. And she was looking for me, until I raised my hands, and she was satisfied that I actually was there. She kept looking. So I think what's important is to be able to balance out things, and to be able to give that time when they need it the most. So the exam times are there, so I try to be there during the exam times. You may not believe it, but I actually do end up going through some chapters with my daughter, especially the elder one. So she brings in civics, and the last time I remember the chapter on the Indian Constitution. So she wanted me to go through it and summarize it for her. So I actually had to do that. So I had to leave the office work, and I was reading the class 9 textbook on the Constitution of India, and making notes for her and explaining to her. So I guess it's that's the only way to balance things out. But again, full credit to my wife. So and of course I'm saying it so that she listens to this, so she knows that I'm giving her the credit also. So through your channel, she'll listen to this. But it's true also.
Yes. So you make a great team. When you're home, so when you walk inside the door, you become a father and a husband. So what is, as the role of a father, what is it that you love doing that brings you joy, like a bedtime story or a school run or something else?
Oh, definitely a movie.
Okay.
And I can tell you the movie also. It's Kung Fu Panda. So there's Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for whatever reason, we keep watching that again and again and again. And we know the dialogues. We listen to the different, every time there's a funny dialogue that comes in, we remember. And suddenly we all, start laughing about it. So there are these 4, 5, 6 movies that we enjoy a lot, and we keep. Of course, it changes because they all grow up, and then they realize that, oh, we really watch that movie. And then they realize, but then for me, those are the moments. So this is Kung Fu Panda moment. So of course, it started with my elder daughter when she was very young, but it's now continuing with the younger one. But the elder one remembers that moment, so she enjoys it. So we enjoy it together. So I think watching movies is very fun for us. We like window shopping also a lot. So my daughter and I, 3 of us, we walk around. We do nothing. We don't buy anything. We just walk around, and then we stop somewhere. We have a small, bread or cake. Then again we walk around, just do nothing, and then go back home. So that's the second thing we do, and we love it. So these are the two things we love to do. Apart from that, many other small things like I think music is again a very important part. So you will find us, so we have a piano at home, and both of them play the piano at different levels, of course. But then we enjoy. So we play the piano, we listen to each other, and of course they rather listen to them. They're playing than my playing, because I'm not that good in piano playing. So that's another activity we end up doing a lot.
Okay, that's interesting to know. So now you've mentioned that your father have instilled you values, where you shouldn't be forgetting your roots, where you come from, your traditions. So how do you involve your children in understanding their heritage and roots?
Yes, that's very, very important. And for us, again, it's always to take them back, to home, to make sure that they're always here. I think apart from retelling them so many things, which we do. Again, as I said, my wife does the most of the talking there also. But I think the fact that we connect them, so we ensure that we take them back, whether it's to Shillong, we bring them back to Shillong, we take them to Tura whenever the opportunity comes, and let them connect with the elders, with our people, and we talk a lot about our culture. We tell them about that. We encourage them to focus on that in different aspects. So these are things which we do, and I found the best way to do is to really ensure that they are in touch and connect with the larger family. Be their first cousins or be their aunts, grandmother. So I think that's so crucial, and my mother is very particular about these things. So she takes, so whenever she's sitting with them, then she'll start the stories of how things were in the past, and the culture aspect, the family aspect, our mahari and all that. So she's very particular about that. So we do our best, but in today's world, it's not so simple. Kids are, they say, yeah, okay, great, yeah, we are so and so, but no, thank you so much. They go back to, YouTube and other things, and which is okay, it was good, bad, but I have, for one, feel that the exposure is important. They should understand the broader aspects of society and the world and the globe as a whole. But yes, at the end of the day, if you miss out the roots, then really you are letting that go of that identity. It makes you what you are. So we're very clear on that.
Yes, thank you, sir. So on a very unrelated topic now, we want to know something about your health. And if you're always on the move, you go from one place to another, from one district to another district. How do you keep your physical and your mental health intact?
No, I mean, I really don't go too much into details of that. But I think physical health aside, I think the mental health is the more challenging one. And I won't say mental health in the sense mental health, but the pressure and the whole idea of having a consistency. I don't know how to explain it, but like I meet, say 300 people. So I want to be same to the 301st person as I was to the first person. And just because I was mentally tired, I should not treat the 301st person in a different way. So I think the consistency is very, very important. And for me, two things is important. I think number one is that, I tend to normally go into what I call a Zen mode. So, when I'm meeting people, or suppose I'm in a CM Connect program, or I'm in some program that is, very public oriented, I simply like somehow, there's some kind of a transparent kind of a barrier that comes into my mind, and I just focus on what I'm doing, and only the 6th hour, 7th hour after I'm done, I realize that I'm exhausted. So I managed to do that. I guess it's because of the fact that I keep telling myself that I have to do it, and more importantly, I take it easy. I don't take it too hard, and try to be consistent. So that's how I manage at least the mental part. And I think a large part has to do with really a sense of commitment to do something. So I think when you have that sense of commitment, you go beyond, your level or the barrier which you think is you're already tired and you can't go anymore. Once you're on it, I think it doesn't matter. I've seen that myself, and I'm sure many people will vouch for that. From a physical point of view, it's tough, no doubt. You get tired, you get physically exhausted. But what I've seen in the last many years, just experimenting with things, I've realized that exercising, of course, is important, which I can't do regularly. In fact, I've not been exercising for the last almost 2 months now. But I have realized also that your food habits and your sleep is equally important. And though I don't get much of sleep as I would love to every day, but I think whatever sleep you get, if you get a sound sleep and can get kind of a recovery, I think that's very important. So I try to sleep whenever I can, and more importantly, I am trying to eat better than I used to eat before. So I think that's something that I'm focusing on. So I don't take rice. I take only 2 meals a day, and I normally make the meal within 6 hours or 8 hours of the day. So I eat very less. I don't take breakfast. And as I said, I've cut off rice. My diet is mostly vegetables and of course a lot of water. So I think diet is very important, I feel, and I've realized that if you can manage your diet well, then a lot of things are better off. So anyway, I'm not a health expert, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but that's my routine. And that's what I try to follow. But yes, I try to walk whenever I can. So I cannot go to the gym because it's just the routine doesn't match. I'm traveling. Just last 12 days, just to share with you, last 12 days, I've been sleeping in a different location every day. So I was in Tura, then I came to Shillong, then I went to Delhi, then the next day I was in Kochi, then the next day again back to Delhi. The next day I was sleeping in Tura, the next night I slept in Shillong, the next night I slept in Guwahati, the next night I slept in Imphal, the next night I slept in Dimapur, and yesterday I slept in Shillong. So there are times when I got up in the night and I'm like trying to figure out where I am. So it's difficult sometimes to have a regular routine for exercise. But yes, to close this particular question, one thing again I've tried to do consistently, and I felt it helps a lot, is just about 5 to 10 minutes of stretching in the morning is really helping me a lot. I find that to be really effective, even if you just don't go for like a yoga kind of exercise or stretching, just the basic, when we were in school, this PT, we used to do hands up, down, all that stuff. And then they used to make us do the punishment of going up and down. Those kind of things also helps, So you use that now to not punish, but make yourself, slightly 5-10 minutes of that. I felt it helps. A morning routine I think, is the same for everyone. But yes, I do, as I said, I make sure I do that 5, 10, 15 minutes of stretching. I listen to music in the morning. And then, so I have specific songs I listen to in the morning. And then after that, I do, of course, have my, the water. Like I'm very particular about lemon water. So I do take a lot of lemon water in the morning, and my coffee. So that's me. That's my morning routine. And then, of course, that's for my personal level. But whenever I get time, suppose I'm on my own, nobody's there, with me, which is normally the case. Then I actually, I have got this very good habit, I should say, and I like it a lot, is that I get a bunch of paper. So this is again office work. So I take that bunch of paper. So there could be about 30, 40, 50 applications, or the different WhatsApp messages that came to my phone, because I can't reply to all of them. So my team compiles all of that and puts it in an Excel sheet. Or for example, calls that came and appointments that need to be given. So 3 areas basically. So this is piled up in a file. So I have my coffee or tea in the morning and I go through it and I manage to finish off 30, 40, 50 applications every day. I do that in flights also, by the way. So the flight I find is the best time to work. So if you're ever in the flight with me, you'll see me doing, completing applications. And I think I finish maximum applications on flights only. So I have 2 hours to Delhi flight. So I end up, clearing maybe about 200 applications in those 2 hours. And it's very fast because I'm quite used to it. So that's one routine I do in the morning. I try to finish off some work, because when the day starts, then I can't do the personal work the personal applications that people give, I can't go through them. So in the morning I do that. So that's normally my routine.
So, sir, you often promote fitness and sports as well. Which is your favorite sport?
No doubt, for me, cricket has been a sport that I've really liked a lot. Football, of course, I like football a lot. It's very close. But I'll tell you why cricket has got a special place. That cricket has actually got a special place because, number one, I grew up in Delhi. So we had a lot of cricket there. And of course, when I came to Shillong, then football became the in thing for me. But I grew up with my father with cricket. So somewhere along the line, we used to watch the matches together. So it was like the father and son thing to do. So we used to be always sitting together. We're like, oh, tomorrow's the Pakistan-India match. We have to watch it tomorrow. So he used to leave his work. I had no work. I just school stuff. So I used to be there. So the two of us used to sit, and James used to, of course, join us once in a while. He was not so much in cricket as much as Dad and I was. So that memory and that whole feeling of watching cricket match with him was something that I enjoyed, and I still enjoy it. So it's something. Last time also I made it a point that I went for the finals of the World Cup, which is in Ahmedabad. I also went for one or two other matches. Recently there was a match for us. One day I went to the test match also to watch that. So I enjoy cricket a lot. And as I said, it's a lot to do with my late father.
Okay, going back to, we were talking about your food habits. Do you cook? If yes, what's your go-to dish?
Wow. So my mother will tell you and my sisters will tell you that when I was younger, so I used to have, there used to be this advertisement, boost is the secret of my energy. Yes. So I was told, and I remember very vividly, that I was actually a very boost man, like a boost kind of a fan for God knows what reason. I can't remember. I hate it now. But it seems that I used to have that. So my diet was boost with milk. And I used to have those roast biscuits, those planks. I used to dip it and then eat it. And my mother used to tell me that, and I used to have fruits. So all the fruits that were there, I used to finish it. And eggs. So my mother says, I remember very vividly. So I used to fry eggs. And that too, like, I'm talking like 8-9 eggs, So I used to just pour everything into the pan, put onions, put this, put that. God knows how I used to mix it. And I don't know what used to come out of it. But my mother says I just pick up the whole thing and eat it. So till today, that's the only thing I can cook is eggs. Of course, fry them and quite nicely, better than before. But I haven't done it for a long time. I learned to make dal because when I was studying in London, it became too expensive to eat food from outside. It is expensive. So if you buy a rice and dal and you keep it and just fry one egg, and cooking rice and dal is very simple. So I learned how to make dal. So the only thing I can do, I can survive. Okay. So I can make rice, dal, and eggs. But obviously with YouTube now, I'm sure I can do others also, if given the opportunity and if the situation such arises. But as of now, the only thing I can cook is rice, dal, and eggs.
Okay. Are there places in Meghalaya where you hold close to your heart? It's become given you more meaning to be in that place, or is there a favorite place that you like to stay or be by? A place where you hold special, that.
Of course, my parents' place is obviously is something that is close to my heart. My aunt's place is something that's close because we grew up there. So before we didn't have a house, my father didn't have a house. So we grew up as kids there. The church, I should say, I want to just add this part to this. So the church was actually something that also is very special. So, whether it's in Shillong, whether it's in Tura, and especially Delhi. So the Sacred Heart Cathedral in Golda Khana, which was next to our school, St. Columbus. Those were kind of places so even today when I go there, I get a very nostalgic kind of a feeling there. So those kind of things are close to me. Of course, from a personal point of view, I really love going to Sora. I like, trekking in the David Scott trail. I've gone there a couple of times, but it's something that's really somehow just those two trips were quite special for me. My wife has a very special kind of attachment. I don't know why. She always likes to walk in golf links. So whenever, I remember when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter and also pregnant with our second daughter. So we made it a point. So somehow she made it a point that we should spend time in golf links. She wants to walk there, spend some time and sit there. So I remember those moments. So these are kind of special things which just now when you ask the question, this comes to my mind.
Okay, when you first started working professionally, what was the best advice that you had received from a colleague?
I guess there's the many advices. I think I wouldn't say colleague, but I will say my leader, my late father. And the advice I remember him giving me at that point in that still sticks with me, and I think is part of my very important principle, I guess, in life. He told me when I was growing up, and I used to take it very seriously. You know how it is when parents tell you something like, "What's the big deal?" Then you look back and realize, and it says maybe it's one of the best advices he gave to me. So he told me that in life in general, he said, life in general, and especially for a leader, is not about himself. So he told me that if you're coming into politics for your own self and for your position or for your personal interest, then don't come to politics, he told me. Because as a leader, the moment you start thinking about yourself, I think that's when everything goes wrong. So you're already in the wrong foot. The purpose for which you are in politics is wrong. And so he used to tell me that never think about yourself in any way. Think about the larger good and the person in front and what the team requires. And everything else will fall into place. It is those people who will bring you to the position. It is those people who will help you in difficult situations. So keep the people first, keep the team first, keep others first in front. And I found that to be very, very deep and very meaningful. And till today, I'll tell you, it helps me. So when I take decisions, I am the last person to be part of the purpose of that decision. For me, the decision is purely based on what is in the larger interest, larger good. And when I'm working also with my MLAs or with my officials, that principle comes into my head. So I think that was the advice I very clearly remember. And I implement it to the core even today. And I always encourage others also that if you don't have that thought process and the principle, I think public life is going to be very difficult.
Totally agree.
So we're coming to the closing of these conversations, which has been very insightful and very fun to listen to. So we just have a few more questions and then we'll move on to the rapid round. So the first one is a reflection as a father, what message or what advice would you give to the parents of the state?
I'm nobody to advise, first of all, because every family, every parent and a child will have different circumstances, situations. So it's not something that I would speak in general, but as a father, I'm speaking from my own experience. I realize that especially the new generation, and the kids today, sometimes they're not looking for advice, actually. They're just looking for you to listen. So normally, at least my experience has shown that as a father, sometimes when I listen to my daughters, saying, "Oh, this thing happened," she's not even looking for me to give her advice that, you should do something. She just wants to talk to me. She just wants to listen to me. So I guess one thing I would like to share, maybe, and the parents, I think, somewhere need to understand, because we feel we know everything. We feel that we are right, which we may be right. Most probably we are right. But I think if you make the kid think that you are already wrong and I am right, I think the conversation already is over before we even started. So I think it's important to give that sense of understanding and that connection and that knowing that you are there to listen and that you are there for them and that you're not always there to lecture them. Sometimes just listening and keeping quiet is more than enough, is what I have felt. A lot of parents may not agree to it. My wife definitely will not agree to it. So she's got her own way. But I personally feel that listening to children sometimes maybe one of the best things that you can do in today's world, especially because they are very intelligent. I talk to my daughter and she talks about things that I could never imagine as a 13-year-old kid. 14-year-old kid talking about. So there's a lot of, like, she talks about policy matters. She talks about, issues of Gen Z, and she talks about what's happening with, Trump and why Trump is doing. And I'm like, can we talk later? You're overwhelming me. So it's like that. So I think that's I think it's important to understand the new generation and be able to do that. But anyway, that's my view. Many parents will not agree to that, but I feel that we should listen.
Yeah, I think so. That's a very good point because I've been to one of these sessions in schools, with my daughters. The one thing that I've always heard from counselors is, please do not mention to yourself, back in our days,
Yeah.
we used to do this now, because it's not the same generation. Everything's different now. So
Absolutely.
it's quite valid. It's better to just listen to them because you learn more.
Yeah, and no, listen to them, and to be very frank, give them the space to be able to talk. They're looking for somebody to talk to.
Exactly.
Sometimes they're just looking for somebody to talk to, somebody to understand what they are going through. And the moment you start lecturing, I think it's over before you can start also. So I don't know. So I feel that that's important, and I would appeal that, if you can give that, I'm not saying that you have to be a friend, because your kid should always have that discipline and that, not fear, but, know the seniority that you are, obviously the parent and all that. But I think we can achieve both, is what I feel, by just giving that space of listening and then slowly talking about it. So then that's my thought.
So it's a lot to learn from you, sir, and I'm sure everybody watching and listening, and we can learn so much from our children, from our younger generation, and just by listening to them, there's so many things that we can learn from them. And okay, so now summing up all this, if you had to describe your life in a song title, what song would it be and why?
Oh, wow. There's so many songs.
Just one.
I like the lyrics of a song which I always sing, which is "Let It Be."
Yes.
So I feel that that's something I always think of and believe that that there's we have to sometimes have that faith and have to believe, and sometimes happen, and sometimes you cannot just want things the way you want it to happen. I like that a lot. I listened to this song, I Can See Clearly, by John Nash or something. So, these kind of songs are very nice. I like this song called, One Moment in Time. So that's something that inspires me a lot. So I like that. Also, I feel that also something that gives me inspiration. May not be the kind of summing up my life, but so there are different things, words that come to my mind when you say that, and then different aspects that are there in different songs that I can connect to.
Okay. So now, like Johan had mentioned, that we would go to this rapid fire round question. It's very simple. It's
Very
just
simple.
one.
I need to drink water for this.
Yes.
We're not going to put you on the spot so much. Just simple ones.
Okay,
So I go for it.
I'm ready.
So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Favorite musical instrument?
Guitar.
One song that always lifts your mood.
Oh, I Can See Clearly. Now, the rain is gone and I'm alive. I know, cheesy song, but I like it.
Giving the opportunity to...
And those are the two songs that I listen to every morning, by the way.
Okay.
So I get up in the morning and then I do my stretching, and I have this Siri, and I just say, Siri, play this song. I think Siri also knows by now. That's the song I want. And then they play the song and I do my stretching.
So mountains or beaches?
Mountains. Definitely mountains.
Biggest stress buster?
I guess walking. I love walking. I love, just being on my own but I love the walks that are not like city.
Yes.
Like I would like to be in a kind of a park or something like that. And definitely with some music, that's something that I like, just want to be, kind of away from everything. So, and just having a room to myself also is a stress buster, by the way, because for me, stress is the continuous process, of everything happening, without any stop. So
Favorite movie or TV show?
Oh, TV shows not much, but movies, of course, there are a lot of movies I like. As a kid, I was telling you, like I used to watch a lot of Hindi movies. So Sholay was one very, very favorite movie of mine. So my mother keeps telling me that I used to watch Sholay I think I've watched it about 200 times, she told me. And that I would insist that I would go to sleep watching Sholay. So, so that's when I grew up. But then when I grew up, I know I've got a lot of good movies. I love, a lot of motivational movies, I should say. So Shawshank Redemption is a movie I really get, I watch movies. I like Braveheart a lot. I like Gladiator. I like Beautiful Minds. So these are the kind of movies that I like, and I can watch them, in fact, again and again.
Ideal weekend activity?
Just I guess doing nothing. That is what I would love to do. Just doing nothing, just being on my own. There's nobody disturbing. But you would be surprised to know this, that though I would like to do nothing, but I would end up working. So I love working. I just cannot leave working. I'm so sorry. I'm sounding very boring when I say that. But I love working, but I love working on my own kind of thing, not with the system and the pressure that is there. So if in a weekend also I will work, but I'll work at my own pace, because obviously when the momentum, because when there's no work also, then also I'm under stress. I'm like, what happened? How come there's no work? How come nobody's come to meet me? So it's like that. So pressure is a part of my life, and when there is no pressure also, I feel a bit awkward. So I would love to just relax and just do small work and just continue with my day-to-day affairs and works.
So a book you would recommend anyone or everyone?
Many books, but for me, I'm a non-fiction guy, so I don't read much of fiction. I read motivational books. I like to read books that are more on values and how to make yourself better. I guess it motivates me. So I like one book which my father also used to like a lot, is the You Can Win by Shiv Khera. So we both read the book at the same time, and then we exchanged notes, and we were both inspired by it. In fact, even today I get inspired by small words and notes, from that particular book, and I keep quoting it, by the way, in my daily work. I like this book also recently I read. It's called Principle. It's by some Ray something, I forgot his last name or something, but it's Principles. It's based on, again, something that I believe in, and when I read the book, I could connect to what it was trying to say, that if you have principles, like I keep telling people that people ask me, you run a coalition, how do you run a coalition? So I tell them, well, running a coalition or doing anything in government or any organization, you have to have principles. Once you have principles laid down and those principles apply to everybody, then that's the rule. So tomorrow nobody can come and say, why you did it for him, why didn't you do it for me? I said, no, that's the principle. If it applies to you, it'll apply to her also. So when you have principles in life and when you have principles in organizations, it is easier and more successful to run things. And so I was reading this book. It's quite a thick book. I managed to somehow finish it. It talks about those principles. So that's one book I recommend people to read for sure.
Okay. One word to describe your family.
Oh, one word is not enough. There are multiple factors. But simple,
Yes.
content, happy, and definitely sometimes, we have got our extreme, complexities that are there, but that's what makes it happy. And but yeah, we're very simple. From my father all the way to my children. Again, I'm happy that my children also are similarly very grounded. They're not like very pressurizing or very demanding, like they take me and push me to buy this buy that. They're very content, and they and we, as I said, we enjoy simple things. So yeah, I guess simple is what I would, maybe the best word I could use.
A childhood hero?
Oh, definitely my father. Yeah, no doubt.
Favorite festival to celebrate with your family?
Definitely Christmas, no doubt about that. Because it's again, it's to do with the childhood part also, because we grew up with that feeling. So I don't know how many, or you have been to Tura for Christmas. It's a very different kind of a feeling there. So what happens is that we have a lot of locality dances taking place, you know. So you hop from one locality to another locality, and then somehow you're always mixing. So that memory is very, kind of enshrined and very part of my DNA. So we always remember at that when Christmas comes. So I link that memory to the current situation, which of course is not like before. Now everybody's individualistic and they have their own programs and all. But I guess that continuity is there, and of course parents have a big role to do that. And obviously, as a Christian, Christmas is a very important even phase, and a moment or a period where we really reflect into ourselves also. So from all those angles, whereas from family, from the entire celebration to spiritual aspect, Christmas is obviously the most important festival.
The one thing you can live without.
I guess family, maybe. Most probably family. Not maybe, I'm sure. My family. So if there's anything, I'll run to the family. That's for sure. That I can openly say that, yeah.
Your go-to outfit for casual days?
Right, what I'm wearing just now. So I don't know if you know this. This is again a really bad thing which I want to share with you, but I guess you guys are going to play it, so I'll say it. So when I find a piece of pant or a shirt that I like, I buy 10 pieces of them, right? And I have this really bad habit of then wearing that same thing again and again and again. I think a lot of people complain about that on video also to me. He said, "You were wearing the same shirt yesterday." I said, "It's the same one, but it's a different. It's the same type, but it's a different shirt." So I've got about 4 pieces of this shirt and about 10 pieces of this particular pant. And somehow for me, I hate, getting up in the morning and going through my wardrobe to change. So if I had the option where, in assembly also I could go like this, I would go like this. But obviously, keeping the protocols and position in mind, we have to obviously be presentable in different situations. But a loose and comfortable shirt, comfortable pants, pajama type, is what I like. And as I said, when I like something, then I go crazy.
So one last one. So, since you mentioned you move into cricket, who would you pick? The little master Sachin or King Kohli?
Very difficult question again. But I would go with little master, with Sachin. And the reason being because if you look at the consistency and if you look at the situation in which he played, the kind of limitations in terms of the accessibility of technology and all those aspects were there. Sheer talent, and obviously a lot of hard work being put in. So he's a perfect example of that. And not saying that Mr. Kohli is not a good person, but I know Mr. Sachin Tendulkar personally. He's a very good friend of mine. And I've got the opportunity to, interact with him in a number of situations. A very good human being, you see, and is very down to earth. Nothing, no air around him, in spite of what he has achieved in life as a cricketer and for the country. So therefore, I think keeping all that historic aspect in mind, the situation that they were in and the kind of talent, if you compare it, I would put Mr. Sachin just above slightly. But Mr. Virat Kohli is also one of my favorite cricketers. And I was very disappointed when he retired from Test cricket. You won't believe I had made up my mind to see the Test match in Lords, because obviously Lords is the arena for cricket in terms of Test. So I wanted to see that one match where I would be able to see Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli actually play. But then as fate would have it and my luck would have it, so right when I decided to go to watch the match, they announced that they're retiring. So I never ended up watching them play the Test. So but they both are great cricketers.
So thank you so much, sir. It's been very insightful and very inspiring talking with you. And thank you so much for sharing with us. And, we get to know the man beyond the politician, the political leader that we all know. We get to know the musician in you. We get to know the father in you. And obviously, the individual very grounded with values.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your story and being so open with us. And to everyone watching, remember, behind every title, there is a human story that needs to be told.